Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man, got him hot. Hey, man, can't ball like this, man, Lord. Past the pig skin, when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause I blame she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to guard.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Off of play action, it's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 41, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to himself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Operating from the gun. Fields going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the mic.
Faking the give. Now Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They got to get after him.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Jordan Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I got you. Switch.
This is Carson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
To throw on 2nd down, Fields. They'll run the screen with Carson. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Fields. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
He's going to look deep down the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. And it's caught by Crabtree. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll try the left side. It's Brooks. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 1st down, it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. but you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And some room to roam now. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 33. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Fielded at the 33. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now on 2nd and 16, Watson, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Watch it.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down. Fields. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On the ready. Mike 55, Mike 55. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, 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 twist. Check.
On 1st and 10, Fields. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. Parker, the intended target. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. From the 41, Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Going deep here for Parker. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fields. And this is Parker, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 40. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, 31! Hey, 59!
The final shot before the break, Watson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So some disappointment there as the field goal falls short, and we have reached the intermission. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. 2nd and 2. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Ready, set, 51. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Fields. And a completion to Wilson. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Got you, boy.
51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give right side. It's Brooks. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Operating from the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Back to throw. Fields. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Watson now to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Watson now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you put something out there. You're giving yourself a chance. You're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, there's nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Carson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw on 3rd down, Fields. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He was looking for Parker that time. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll keep it on the ground. Brooks. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on third, Watson escaping the pressure right. Crabtree has it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, we got to snap it. We got to snap it. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52.
Watson on third down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kahale Waring with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Second and 6. slide, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense. In
his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. On third down, Carson. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. On 1st down, it's Carson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, but now it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The kick by Sanders is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jason Verrett. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Go.
On 3rd down, Brooks. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 32-yard line.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Watson on target here to Fuller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Parker, the intended target. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
I'm here all day.
And Watson's going to throw it here. That's caught at the 3. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Watson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey,